I mean, I have a lot of work and stuff, but like I do have a
Like, you don't want to do all of it.
Let's see you guys later. Today we're learning about biomes. A biome is any of the world's major ecosystems, often classified according to the predominant vegetation and characterized by adaptations of organisms to that particular environment. You guys snuck up on me there. Right now we're learning about tropical rainforests. Say it with me. Tropical rainforest.
The tropical rainforest is located around the equatorial and sub-equatorial regions of the Earth.
Interesting. So what's the precipitation like in these parts?
Well, I'm glad you asked that. In tropical rainforests, rainfall is relatively constant, about 200 to 400 centimeters annually.
Really? So what's the temperature like then?
Air temperatures are high year-round, averaging about 25 to 29 degrees Celsius, with little seasonal variation.
So the word on the street is tropical forests are very vertically layered, and competition for light is intense.
Oh, it is. Layers in rainforests include emergent trees that grow above a close canopy, the canopy trees, one or two layers of subcanopy trees, and shrub and herb layers. There are generally fewer layers in tropical dry forests. Broadleaf evergreen trees are dominant in tropical rainforests, whereas tropical dry forest trees drop their leaves during the dry season.
So what are the animals like then?
Oh, Earth's tropical forests are home to millions of species, including an estimated 5 to 30 million still undescribed species of insects, spiders, and other arthropods.
That's nuts.
It
I've
is.
never heard something like that before.
It is nuts.
I see you guys here. I want to learn about the desert. Say it with me. Desert, not dessert. Desert.
Today, we'll be learning about deserts. Deserts occur in bands near 30 degrees north and south latitude or at other latitudes in the interior of continents, for instance, the Gobi Desert of North Central Asia.
So what kind of precipitation do deserts get?
Precipitation is low and highly variable, generally less than 30 centimeters per year.
So what's the temperature like?
Temperature is variable seasonally and daily. Maximum air temperatures in hot deserts may exceed 50 degrees Celsius. In cold deserts, air temperature may fall below negative 30 degrees Celsius.
It's interesting. What kind of plants are found in deserts?
Desert landscapes are dominated by low, widely scattered vegetation. The proportion of bare ground is high compared with other terrestrial biomes. The plants include succulents such as cacti, deeply rooted shrubs, and herbs that grow during the infrequent moist periods.
So what kind of animals are found there?
Common desert animals include many kinds of snakes, lizards, scorpions, ants, beetles, migratory and residential birds. And also, you might see some seed-eating rodents every now and then.
Interesting.
You guys got me again. Today we're learning about the temperate broadleaf forest.
Today, we're learning about the temperate broadleaf forest. Found mainly at mid-latitudes in the northern hemisphere, with smaller areas in New Zealand and Australia. The broadleaf forest is a great forest, and is actually where I live today.
But Matt, what's the precipitation like?
Precipitation can average from about 70 to over 200 centimeters annually.
Wow. But how's the temperature?
Winter temperatures average around 0 degrees Celsius. Summers with maximum temperatures near 35 degrees Celsius are hot and humid.
What kind of plants live there?
A mature temperate broadleaf forest, that's mature, has distinct vertical layers including a closed canopy, one or two strata of undulcitory trees, a shrub layer, and a herbaceous stratum.
Any animals?
In the northern hemisphere, many mammals hibernate in winter, while many bird species migrate to warmer climates. The mammals, birds, and insects make use of all vertical layers of the forest.
What about human impact?
Temperate broadleaf forest has been heavily settled on all continents. Logging and land clearing for agriculture and urban development destroyed virtually all the original deciduous forests in North America.
sneaking up on me all over the place. Tell you what I remember about the coral reef.
Today we will be learning about the coral reefs. Unlike the other biomes, which are on land, this one's in water. Coral reefs are formed largely from the calcium carbonate skeletons of corals. Shallow reef-building corals live in the photic zone of relatively stable tropical and marine environments with high water clarity, primarily on islands and along the edge of some continents.
What's the chemical environment like?
Well, I'm glad you asked that. Corals require high oxygen levels and are excluded by high inputs of fresh water and nutrients.
Any geologic features?
Well, corals require a solid substrate for attachment. A typical coral reef begins as a fringing reef on a young high island, forming an offshore barrier reef later in the history of the island, and becoming a coral atoll as the older island submerges.
Is there any photosynthetic organisms?
Sure there is. Unicellular algae live within the tissues of the corals, forming a mutualistic relationship that provides the corals with organic molecules. Diverse multicellular red and green algae growing on the reef also contribute substantial amounts of photosynthesis.